Okay, so we have a game plan for my crew, my community, and it's important that I want to let the middle class know that what had happened was we had a split of evil versus good, and everybody's separated in line. So Mona Van's evil, and everyone she's ever been seen with is evil as shit. And then the good's over here with me, and that would include Trump and Vance. And then these two individuals hired undercover agents, but you don't want to trust any undercover agents because these undercover agents are so good, they should make you sick to your stomach. And that's what we want because we also want to make them stronger as people. Sorry, happiness and joy doesn't belong in if you're living in evil because you're just giving validation to evil. So there's two sections in every class. We're just gonna go low, middle, and high. Low, middle, and high. High would be lots of money, low would be low income. And what has happened is these three groups and both sides have come together to battle each other, to disintegrate culture with the assistance of TikTok as the igniting fire of bringing awareness to the good. Now, the good in America is more like this size. This is what I want you to really bring into awareness. The education that I've delivered to the good side, because I know the people of the world. I know people. You're intelligent. You can hold conversations. When I was speaking, if anything ever really lit you up, it wasn't ever even about you. It was about somebody else. If you're living in the good section. But see, this is what you also want to recognize is that Addie McCracken thinks that she's a good person. But she's not a good person. She's a bad person. She's evil. So it's very, very not interesting, but the awareness game has to be strong. Now, within this, we folded like folding clothes, not like folding cards, information back and forth with the evil trying to take what is good in the world and put a makeup level over it to speak as if they were professional. And I'm here with my therapist that I've had since she was 14. And you're going to think that that's going to be relatable to a middle class, which is the majority of this country. You're a rich Nepo from some other country. You have a Persian descent. 9/11 existed. And she thought that she was going to just date some dude, pretend to be sweet, which is the most disgusting human on the planet is anyone who calls themselves sweet. When Americans call people sweet, it's because we can't stand you and we don't want to call you anything else. You do get that, right? And so you're going to tell me that you're going to try to teach Americans on how to eat clean when you're 100% evil, and then you're going to try to go into the U.S. Capitol and go to the Los Angeles after you lit a fire on the land to create some dumb shit in California off your witchcraft, which never gets off the ground. Because if your witchcraft actually worked, you would be literally on Good Morning America, you would be in movies, you would be a journalist, you would be getting jobs up the wazoo, but you have done nothing in the 4 years except for show off who Persians actually are and how much you're hated in the whole entire world, even from the IRANs. While they battle out their own nasty conversations in their head. Moving on, the most ignorant people in the world are the ones who live in uplift and joy. It's a distraction of what's actually going on. The distraction of uplift and joy is that they don't want to hold themselves accountable, because if you live in reality, you know that most days are in where you're headed is you want to live in an even keel experience of judging the hell out of everybody. Because what you're judging is they're nasty. And if you don't judge their shit, then you take their shit on as if you own their shit. And then and these people have become crafted in it, acting as if they're such good people. They're not good people, they're evil. It's all the game that they've learned amongst their nasty organized crime group. They don't have customer service in mind. And that goes for the politicians of the OBAMA era. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not fucking kidding you. So what we want to be aware of is we've got two in every class system. There's the evil and the good, and then there's the group that just don't want to do anything. And they like naive, and they stand for nothing. They have no ethics and no morals, and they want cash. And they're willing to go to the side. And a good person would know that you either reprimand them consistently, and you have to watch these people, or they just go to the evil side and try to climb the corporate ladder, which is an influencer. See, what influencers don't want to take responsibility for is they want to live for themselves. They don't want to actually deliver to anybody. So all this conversation around have no expectation, I'm talking about you as audience. No, you have expectations, and you got to judge these people. You're judging the influencer. That's why they get paid. That's the journey of being in any form of leadership, and as a manager, that's why you get the management title, is because you're constantly being judged by your staff, because people don't like to be told what to do. People don't want to follow especially the youth, don't want to follow the way that an 80-year-old was expected to follow natural law. And then we had Kim Kardashian show up in a nasty bikini who disrespects an 80-year-old person. And then her own grandmother doesn't even reprimand her for her bad behavior because her grandmother is a shallow piece of garbage. So now we've got old ladies, and this said with respect. It's just to put awareness into the age. Old ladies versus little girls in their 20s, all disrespecting their generations because Kim Kardashian has no respect for anyone, yet influencer market is forcing us to look at her ass because she's got the money to spew out the garbage, and we're literally being browbeat on a daily basis so that Kim Kardashian can feel validated. Now, within each group of medium, low, and high individuals of finances, which is how we're going to separate you all, within those we have good and evil, all pretending to be something they're not. But you want to understand, as good and evil, what's happening now is there's so much more good in the world that it's collapsing the evil. But legacy media refuses to drop their swords because they know they're guilty and they will go to prison. They're guilty. Listen to what they're saying. This gang member, Kilmore, he literally is a vicious, vile criminal who CHEATED'd on his wife. His wife is afraid. We are literally not protecting an American citizen and 3 children from a gross-ass man. The politicians are not protecting. This is what it looks like for a woman who's this is like, I don't like this woman. I'm not supporting this woman. I'm telling you that she's with a narcissist. She was born in America, raised in America, and she's a Hispanic American type individual. Living in a mindset to deteriorate herself of being devalued because that's just the way her heritage, because it's a long story, meets a gang member who takes rewiring of the girl's brain, and now there's an opportunity to save her so she could actually meet somebody on her level to make a better life for herself, because she now no longer has that gang dude with a chain on her leg. And instead of trying to help the woman, even though she doesn't see the truth, they put her at a pedestal and they tell her to cry her eyes out in support of a criminal that's violating her and abusing her and her children. That's the way the DEMS work, and that's showing you that that is a broken system, and that's how they've tried to operate this government for the last 4 years. And that's how these people in the Harvard and Columbia are operating also.